Hey kids, it's Mrs. Davis from home. We have been working on learning some new facts about our solar system. This is lesson number 2. We're going to continue our study on the solar system. So in our first lesson, you guys were thinking about what you already knew about the planets, about our solar system, and then we were listening to this book called Planets so that we could gain new information about the solar system. And one of our jobs was to write down 2 facts in our spiral, 2 good facts. I did my work. I wrote the planet Earth is the 3rd planet in our solar system. My second fact, the hottest planet in our solar system is Venus. I think that's pretty interesting. So that was in our first lesson, and we were also working on thinking about some new vocabulary words: gas, gravity, reflect, orbit, and star. In this first book called Planets, I told you what those words meant in relationship to the solar system. So I'm going to read, just reviewing those definitions from this picture glossary in the back of that book. A picture glossary tells you what a word means that you're going to be reading in a nonfiction book, and this one also shows you a picture too. And that's helpful. Gas, something that has no shape or size of its own. Gas can spread out into space, into the space around it. Gravity. Gravity is an invisible force that pulls objects toward a planet or a star. Orbit is the path an object follows around another object, such as a star. Reflect, to bounce back. So we learned that the planets don't have their own light. They have to reflect light from stars. And then finally, a star, we learned, was a huge ball of hot gas that makes heat and light. Now today, I'm going to read another book to you. This one has the same title. It's called Planets. And this one's kind of interesting. I like the order of this book. It goes in a little bit different order than the first book. Again, we're going to be thinking about the planets of the solar system, and we're going to be thinking about what we already know, and we're going to be thinking about gathering maybe some new information. But hopefully, when we finish today's lesson, I want you to really value planet number 3. Yeah, our planet Earth. Because of all the planets in the solar system, as fascinating as they all are, there's one planet that stands out from all the others. It's our planet. I say it's the greatest planet in the solar system. And I hope at the end of our study, you will agree with me that our planet is the greatest planet. All right, here we go. Let's read and find out some more information and review some old information. Planets. What's out there? Ready? Let's go. Let's zoom into space. Let's zoom past the moon. Let's visit the shining stars and their planets. Most stars have families of planets. The planets in a family orbit or travel around the star. And then this little diagram up here says some stars have only one planet, some have many. It says planets look like balls. And then they're reviewing for us the word orbit. Orbit. A planet may take a long time to orbit around its star. And an orbit is that path that it travels, invisible path. Our sun is a star. Earth orbits the sun. Earth is a rocky planet. Okay? It's made of rocks and metal. That's what we learned in our last session. Gas planets and rocky planets orbit our sun. They are all part of the sun's family. And then down here at the bottom, it says 1 million Earths could fit into the sun. That's how large. And I love this diagram because it shows the sun at the center of the solar system, and the planets are orbiting around this beautiful, great star. Here are the gas giants, the gas giant planets. They are far, far away from the sun. And remember, we learned about these gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Clouds of gas swirl. There's nothing to land on. There's nothing to stand on. The gas giants have rings spinning around them. And then this little guy up here says, the gas planets are bigger than the rocky planets. That's a new fact. Hang on to your space helmets. Neptune is a windy gas planet. Gas giant Uranus is tipped on its side. It's the only planet that spins on its side. The gas on Neptune makes that planet look blue. And then down here in this cloud, it says, freezing winds whip through the clouds. They blow at more than 1,200 miles an hour. Saturn is famous for its rings. Saturn's rings are made of bits of ice and rock. It's hard to imagine that these beautiful rings that are around the planet Saturn are made of ice and rocks. The gas giant Jupiter does things in a big way. It's the biggest planet in the sun's family. It also has huge storms. One has been blowing for over 300 years. And it appears on that planet as a giant red spot. The Great Red Spot is actually a giant storm. Now, in our first book, I remember it saying that that storm was 400 years old. In this book, it says the storm is 300 years old. So that would be something. We're seeing two nonfiction books with two different pieces of information. So that's going to make me want to look up that information in a third source, just so I can be accurate and get the correct information. Asteroids rock. Asteroids are rocks. Most are in the asteroid belt. This area lies between Jupiter and Mars. So that's something new. In between Mars, the 4th planet, and Jupiter, the 5th planet, is a group of asteroids, and it's called the asteroid belt. And asteroids are rocks. The dwarf planet Ceres is there too. A dwarf planet is a little planet. The rocky planets are made mostly of solid rock. None of the rocky planets have rings. And remember, those were Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, the first 4 in the inner part of the solar system. Mars and Earth have moons. Ooh, that's a new piece of information. Earth has 1 moon. Mars has 2 moons. Oh, that's cool. So there's a difference between Earth and Mars. And you can see on our moon the American flag, because astronauts have been to the moon. Mars, called the red planet, is coated with red dust. It looks red hot, but it is really very, very cold. Another new fact, Mars is very, very cold. Earth has been called the Goldilocks planet. It is just right for living things. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not too dry. It's not too wet. It's perfect. It's the perfect place for life. No other planet in the solar system has all of these perfect things. So no other planet has life. That makes planet Earth the greatest planet in the solar system. And then one final fact down here at the bottom, it says we send robots to Mars to explore. Watch out! Venus traps the sun's heat. The planet is hot, hot, hot. It sizzles. Remember, it is the hottest planet in the solar system. And then this little guy right here says, in his little spaceship, says the air on Venus is very thick and it is definitely not breathable. It's poisonous. I don't think we're going to be living on the planet Venus. Mercury's days are hotter than a pizza oven. Wow, that's pretty hot. But its nights are freezing. So Mercury has extremely hot days and extremely cold nights. Not a good place for us to live either. I'm still believing that Earth is the greatest planet in the solar system. Meet some other members of the Sun's family. Remember those little dwarf planets that we talked about in our last lesson? The ice dwarf planets orbit our Sun in the cold space past Neptune. We are spotting more ice dwarfs every year. There may be hundreds of them. And here's the most famous, Pluto. Pluto is the most famous ice dwarf out in our solar system. Our Sun is one of lots and lots of stars. Other stars have planet families too. We call these planets exoplanets. We have found over 1,000 exoplanets. Oh, I tell you, there's so much to learn about outer space. Very interesting. We sent a telescope to spot those exoplanets. And a telescope is out there taking pictures and sending us information back to the planet Earth. Amazing. Well, that does it for this book about planets. I sure have enjoyed learning a few new facts. One of the facts I learned was that the planet Earth has one moon and the fourth planet, planet Mars, actually has 2 moons. But the most important thing I've discovered when I'm studying the planets is that planet Earth is the greatest planet in the solar system because it's the only planet where we have living things. We have water, we have breathable air, we're in just the right spot. It's not too hot or not too cold. It's just right. That's why it's called the Goldilocks planet. You know, Goldilocks and the 3 bears, just right. All right, I hope you've enjoyed learning some more facts about our planets in our solar system. Now, here's what I want you to work on today. And we might have to be a little bit flexible with this assignment. So, if we were at school, I would be giving you this little diagram, this picture of the solar system, and it has the sun, and then it has the planets of the solar system lined up in their orbits. And you would be doing this activity, which I have done and completed. you would be coloring the planets in the solar system and then labeling them. Now I'm going to be uploading a picture of this blank solar system. And if you have a printer at home, I want you to go ahead and print this. And then I want you to color and label the planets of the solar system. That will be your job today. But if you don't have a printer, then what I want you to do is get out a blank piece of paper, and I want you to go ahead and see if you can draw the planets of the solar system. You can go on the internet and you can find a picture of the solar system, or you can stop this video and you can look at my model to help you. So you're just going to draw. You'll draw the sun, and then you'll draw Mercury, which is close to the sun and it's small, and then Venus and Earth are about the same size. You'll just draw little circles, and you'll just draw them in their order. Then Mars, you can see, is just a little bit smaller than Earth. And then there's Jupiter, the largest planet. We're going to the gas giants, Saturn, and then we've got Uranus, and we've got Neptune. All right, I want you to get busy on your solar system. You're going to draw a model and label this model. And of course, I want you to send me a picture of your work and show me all of your great coloring or drawing and labeling. All right, until our next lesson on the solar system, get busy working on this model and have a good one.